which of the following does f of x equal f of 1 minus x? So this is essentially saying, hypothetically, for which of the following does f of 1 equal f of 1 minus 1, which is equivalent to f of 0? Basically, what you're doing is you're taking the inside of the parentheses, and because we're defining that as x in our template of the function here, you're going to use that in place of x wherever x appears in your formulas that you're asked to use for each function. So I'm basically saying, for which of these, if I plug in a 1 for x, is it equivalent to plugging in a 0 for x? Well, if I plug in a 1 in the first statement, or first answer choice A, I get 1 minus 1, which is 0. And if I plug in a 0, I'm going to get 1 minus 0 is 1. So this does not tie out. I'm going to get the same result in the second answer choice, which is 1 minus 1, 1 minus 1, which is 0, and then 1 minus 0, which is 1. In the third one, I'm going to have 1 minus 1, which is 0, which is going to give us a 1. And if I plug in a 0 for x here, I'm going to get 0 minus 1 minus 0, which is going to give me a negative 1. Answer choice D will be 1 squared times 1 minus 1, which is 0. So 1 times 0 is 0. And I notice that if I plug a 0 in here, it doesn't matter what the interior is. I'm also going to get a 0. So this one finally checked out. These two we had a miss. And on E, I noticed that the bottom here, if I plug in a 1, is going to be infinite, and it's undefined, basically. And so I get undefined. And if I plug in a 0, I'm going to get 0 over 1, which is 0. And that didn't work. And our answer is answer choice D. So plugging in values for x whenever you have variables in your answer choices is typically the fastest way to solve it. It also allows you to see the math unfold and makes it feel more concrete.